Yay!
Hey.
Hello everyone! We just went live on Instagram. We were talking about all kinds of things, mostly sovereignty, power, but we're in this bubble of exploring, reflecting on this past year, also reflecting on where we would like to go within this next year and overall the future. We were just talking about kind of the nuances of being a content creator, how to best or ideally relate to your audience, positive comments, criticisms, trolls, how to get paid for the services and the information that you're providing. So as we were talking about that, I'm like, let's go live and see how the conversation goes. I'm interested in kind of picking a platform that most resonates with the work I'm trying to do. I usually go live on Instagram. Usually people definitely tune in, they leave comments, they hop on the call sometimes, and then I post that live stream from Instagram on my Instagram page and on my YouTube channel. So I go live on Facebook sometimes. It's not really part of my formula, but yeah, just experimenting, seeing what audience is out there for what and all of that. See, for example, we already have 4 people watching. That was quicker than on the Instagram platform, but I'm not like seeing, I don't know who is in the space, but yeah, if you are in the space, welcome, welcome, welcome. You are free to leave comments, ask questions. We're interested in how was this year for you? How can you see this year as empowering depending on how you look at it, and what moves are you going to be making in this next year? Like, where are we going? We're still here, you know? Might as well have a plan and do our best to implement that and work with people that are in the same headspace, willpower space, all of that. And I'm also with my friend Lugh. I will let him introduce himself to y'all.
Hey, I'm Lugh, L-U-G-H, Hugh with an L. I'm here in Guatemala. I teach Tai Chi. I'm starting a mystery school. Yeah, man, living the life. Also moving into a new paradigm in terms of making money, making a living, creating something sustainable. I clearly can't go back to my past life before COVID, so the only way is to go forward, and the only way forward is to achieve my oldest dreams and hopes in a sustainable way. So that's the type of life challenge that I want. So I'm up for it, man.
How bittersweet. It's like stuff is contracting and you have to go forward, but you gotta do what you actually want to do. You gotta do what you're passionate about, and it will bring you more abundance and joy than doing something that compromises your values, you know?
Well, before that was just like an ideal or a dream or something to aspire to, but now it feels like the only option. That there's no more room for compromise anymore, and that like my dreams and aspirations and my need to survive are converging rather than like before. Pre-COVID, they were kind of 2 different things. You survive and then you might have a dream, but now I have to realize my dreams in order to survive in this new paradigm, which is cool, man.
Yeah, hello Ayannas, hello Yasmin. And yeah, I have been on my entrepreneurial journey essentially my whole life. I remember being in 4th grade, we had something called the Invention Convention, and right off the bat I was just like, you don't tell me when to invent. Who are you, external force, trying to coax such potent energy out of me?
Yeah.
But I was like, whatever, I will invent a thing. And I invented what I called the sticky grippy. And essentially you had a grippy on your pencil, and I put Velcro on it to where you could take a grippy on and off. Super basic, but hey, I was forced to like invent a thing. Anyway, I go on the playground at school and I'm taking orders for sticky grippies. I'm like, they're $1, you know? I'm having my parents, aka my investors, buy the product, and I'm just like, I'm selling them for $1. So I'm seeing how being entrepreneurially minded has been for me my whole life, but recently really accessing online means of doing it. And so that's a newer journey for me, and I love seeing how my friends or people in my network have leaned into that calling and necessity to not only like deepen their passion, but do something that can be their bread and butter, can pay the bills, can empower them to resist certain forces that might not be in their best interest. And if anything, I want to be like a voice and a sounding board for people working on doing just that, celebrating wins and deconstructing limits on that journey, because I also don't see any other way, for myself at least, so it's like, let's go then.
Yeah, man, exactly. And so that means like completely changing things up, like engaging in ways where we're not just taking each other's time for granted, like we're hanging out because we're not working, but like finding a value in every aspect of our lives, like and merging those two worlds, like creating value just with your life, just by being who you are and being fully empowered. And then you get like a virtuous spiral where the more empowered you are, the more sovereignty you have over your own life, the more effortlessly valuable your time becomes. And that's what I'm seeing happening as like the old regime is falling completely apart, like so yeah,
definitely. And Ayanna, if I'm not mistaken, she started a new business this year as well, in like the holistic wellnessy type of realm. That's been cool to see. I guess what I'm coming up against in that we are the product that is of value. It's always been that way. Is there a difference between work-life balance, or are we entering this age of we can be live streaming every second of our day and packaging that into some form of content that people pay for, and is that the best for us? Like, as we enter this new way of working, do we have on days, off days? Have a 9-to-5 schedule even if you are working for yourself online, or do those things fall away as well?
I think ultimately that it's not like we're going out of like a quantitative value system, like how much your time is worth.
Yeah, I was just saying that you started one of your own businesses this year as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Bravo for that.
Yeah. Shout out to Entrepreneurship / doing something that's uniquely your essence that you'd love to bring to the world.
Totally. So none of us are masters at this. It's like an emerging industry, an emerging paradigm that's like taking form almost as quickly as everything else is falling apart. So we need... Yay! Yeah, man.
Yay!
So your experience and wisdom doing what you did last year is something that we need, and we're all experimenting, doing different things. This experience talking on Facebook is new for me, and so like we're lifting each other up, by our own individual struggles. We're creating something that will be of value. Like one person's struggle for sovereignty makes it empowers everyone else, and so on and so forth. So yeah,
exactly. And like, do you think, I guess I'm also wondering how I dream of getting there. Your location is on my radar. Yep.
Yeah, man.
We're here. As far as I know, to get here, you need like a plane ticket and like a negative COVID test within 48 hours or something like that. But if you're in North America, like in the States or Canada, it's truly, we're not that far away. We're south, yeah, but like, what, like 8 hours you could be here?
Yeah, easy. If you take a direct flight, flights aren't even that expensive. Like from Toronto, it's like you're looking at like $350.
Yeah.
Sometimes less. I don't know what it's like now, but like it's it's ridiculous. It's like ridiculously cheap, man. Why wouldn't you do that? And your money goes so much further down here than it does up there. And if you could make money online, then why live in lockdown when you can live in this oasis, man?
Exactly. I feel like, oh yes, my father lives in Belize. Yes, okay,
yeah,
Belize.
Okay, so you know.
Belize is completely on my list. I'm definitely in like a comfort bubble of the lake. The way I see it, I'm in this comfort bubble / working really hard on what we're talking about, like developing these systems to bring forth greater and greater sovereignty for the future. And I feel like at a certain point in activating that, I would like to travel more, but in those travels be a more self-actualized, sovereign person, to where I can be less dependent on like taking from wherever I'm at and be able to produce more. Not like I need like a superhero savior complex, no, but it is just like a desire or like a milestone of maturity that I have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if shit goes down, I am a blessing to be where I'm at, not a liability.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, with this model we're talking about of like just kind of sovereignty, creating a new type of value just in and of itself, that the more individuated you are, the more that you cultivate something unique that the world needs and doesn't have, the more every aspect of your life has value. So like, you're not going on a vacation from your job. Your vacation has value that people will want to consume because it's part of who you are, part of what you're doing. Like,
yeah. And then through going on that journey creates more value for wherever you would go next.
Yeah. I mean, that's the model that's coming into view.
I'm into it. I still deal with like lamenting for the souls that are not gonna get it, and that's on me to even choose to focus on that. But it's like I've not outgrown it yet. I yearn for more people to experience the sovereignty and the freedom that we are cultivating.
Yeah, the best way to do that is to do it yourself. People will see it. People need to see an example. They need pioneers. They need to see like, oh, there is a different way. And if there's no one around like that, you gotta be that. And the people that will resonate with it, but some people just aren't meant to be the first ones, you know, like and no judgment about that, but
leadership. Oh yeah, I guess that's like what it is at the end of the day.
There it comes again. But a different type of leadership, a different paradigm of leadership, you know. There's like two types of power. There's like power that comes at the expense of other people's power, like power that disempowers, and then there's power that empowers, power that creates power, and that's what we're talking about, you know?
Yeah, I think I've heard it like power over or like power with or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah, that's it.
Power to the people.
Power to the people.
Yeah.
And then I also think going down the timeline of we are working for ourselves, we're connecting with other people working for themselves to create this like unique fusion type of stuff. We have money coming in, we have systems in place for where we're living, where our food's coming from, it's organically based ideally. I also think what are empowering tools, networks, energies that are speaking to not just how to make money, but once you have the money, how to grow your money. And I think of like entrepreneurship, but ultimately like investing. I feel like I'm super new to that whole even realm of thinking. If you've read Rich Dad Poor Dad, it's like the investor quadrant, putting yourself in the mindset not of an employee getting a check every 2 weeks and then spending it on what you need to live, but an investor having a lump sum of money, and then how are you going to turn that into what will keep paying you back independent of the initial work you put into it. So then I like having those conversations, or just overall seeing where other people are at in thinking about it.
Right. Well, I mean, I think going from a power that disempowers to a power that empowers. Like, money is the essence of like power that disempowers. You know, it like quantifies it. Some people have it, some people don't. If you don't have it, you don't have power. If you do have it, you do. And it's but so instead of following the money, we're going into an era which I've personally experienced, like the of the money following you. And that's what you want. You don't want to chase it. You want it to chase you. It's like, it's kind of like, you know, if you're into someone, like you don't want to, you want them to like you. You don't want to chase after them. You're gonna put too much power in their hands. You want to be the one that they're going after. So you want to be like, come on, money, come to me. Like, I will, and you do that by not aiming for just abstract wealth, but just becoming who you are, following your life path, following your path of sovereignty, letting your soul unfold, and the money will come to you, and because it wants to be part of your journey. It wants to, the whole universe wants to cooperate for you to be who you are, and the money will follow you. That's been my experience. Like, as soon as I quit my job, which was fairly lucrative, at least compared to what I was used to, everything that I expected, or that you're led to expect, like, oh, how are you going to support yourself, was reversed. Like, money came far more easily than I ever could have imagined, doing far less than you know what I mean? And it is magic. It is magic, but it came from fully investing not money but like willpower and chutzpah and balls into my life, even if it didn't add up on paper. And if you haven't experienced what that's like, if you don't know what it's like for money to be kind of like a true abundance mindset, where you're not like chasing it, it's there, you're not going to know what it's like. You're not going to know how easy it is. Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's no way to learn that unless you take a leap of faith in yourself, that you are worth something. And of course, that's what we all struggle with, but we were created in the image of the Most High. We are like the highest living thing that we know, at least on this earthly plane, in terms of like how deeply we can connect with spirit. Like, we have great value objectively, and but the universe isn't gonna tap into that if we don't tap into it. We have to be the first thing in the universe to like recognize and represent our value. If we're looking for someone else to do it, or other people to do it, obviously if you're looking for someone else to do it, obviously you're not doing it yourself. So the very act of trying to get external recognition is, or trying to get something from outside of you, is pulling you further and further away from yourself.
And like, even if you would get that external validation, I feel like 9 times out of 10, they're for sure going to undervalue you. Like, you're ultimately going to get less than if you would have done the very courageous, not easy, brave work of figuring out your own value, and then not chasing but attracting the abundance in all of its forms beyond money to yourself. And I guess I just want to highlight that doing that, it's like it's not going to be a bliss fest all the time. The fruit's like pretty blissful, but if you're on that journey and you're experiencing discomfort, by no means does that mean to stop. I recommend just keep going and have faith. This is something like working out in the gym. Like, it's going to require your energy, require actually doing the work, be uncomfortable. If it's not uncomfortable, I don't know if it's like actually the work to be done.
Well, then everyone would be
keep going, keep doing it.
I mean, trying to make money in any circumstance is hard work, but at least if you invest in yourself, like, like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, instead of just like the fiction of retirement or death, or which is what the only thing that's gonna, or sickness, which is like by far and away the only thing that, or pandemics is the only thing that breaks people out of that cycle.
Yeah, and even with that, so many people like gee, I wish I could get back on that cycle. Like,
yeah, man.
But we've already established we're not talking to those people. It's not for everyone, but people that are down for the process. I'm so interested in really what this next year will become through my own work. Like I said, collaborating with other people that are aligned with doing that work for themselves, and really seeing like how far can we go if we work this process, like if at the least we're getting our needs met, being able to pay our bills, at best like producing works that we wouldn't have even dreamed of being able to produce, like some self-actualization, like higher chakra type of things, but by all means starting with that foundation of lower chakra, getting those, it's like I can't expect someone to paint a masterpiece if they're like starving, so it's like build from the bottom up is how I see it.
I don't know, I'm almost like that's pre-COVID thinking. The quickest way to climb a mountain is to start at the top.
Mike Lowry.
Yeah.
So this is my cousin, basically one of the most inspiring entrepreneurial go-getter types of people that I've met on my journey, and I'm lucky enough to have this person be a family member. When I was on a cross-country adventure last year, he let me stay in a place out in Oregon and really just like ground down, process, figure out my next steps. And yeah, I'm just extremely grateful for the people that have been resources for me on my path, as I am being a resource for other people on their path.
Yeah. What's up, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's exactly what we're talking about here is entrepreneurship, sovereignty. What does that look like? What role does economics, hard, cold cash, material, earth element, pentacles, and the tarot deck, where does that play into it? And I don't know, man. Like I said, the thing, is it from the bottom up? Or maybe it's from the top down, and I'm kind of like advocating the top down thing. Like in the Kabbalah, the order of the manifestation of the Sephiroth is first Keter, the top, and then Malkuth, earth, and then all the other Sephiroth manifest from their interaction. But like again, like if you have energetic spiritual mastery over the 3D, if you're completely connected to your higher self, then the whole material universe will be in service to you.
Kind of like this, how we were talking about if a leader is aligned and enlightened, the rest of the kingdom, so to speak, falls into place.
Exactly. If you become yang, then relative to everything around you, it will become yin, and it will just serve you and be devoted to you. And it's, once you tap into that frequency, it's magical. It's like it's beyond, it's greater than what you could ask or imagine, because you can't ask and imagine anything that isn't informed by your previous experience on this earth. And if you want to tap into a different vibration, you can't rely on your previous experiences to inform what is ultimately the best for you in the future. And money is a big one. Like we are deeply programmed that money is power, and to a certain extent it has been over us. But where does that wealth, where does that money come from? It comes from working people. It comes from the labor. It's just paper if it doesn't represent value, and value comes from taking things that have less value and creating things that have more value through the labor process. So nothing has value unless it's been given value from human beings. So human beings have actually been creating value the whole time. That's the the conspiracy. Like, we created the elites. We created a class that rules us through giving our labor away, giving our energy away. And that's the scam. They know that. They're not interested in the money. They're interested in the power, the chi that we're giving away in order to valorize their investment. An investment won't do anything. It has no value if it just sits there. It has to go into something that creates value. Money can't do that on its own. Humans create value through our labor power, through our chi, through how we manipulate the environment.
We create more humans. Like, we are inherently that which gives value.
Totally.
And then some yahoo's gonna come along and be like, you're worth $8.50 an hour, or like, you're fucking property, you work for free. Like, who the are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly.
No. And it's like interesting to cast off these deep layers of slavery beyond being physically shackled, you know what I mean? Seeing how ingrained the beliefs are that we undervalue ourselves, or that we are not the essence of value and power to be unleashed and tapped into when the timing is right. Not to say it's for everyone, but if it's for you right now, hey, it's for us here right now, and it's where we're going.
Well, yeah, it's now or never, man.
No, never. Why not? Like, have all these hands, all these feet, all this like willpower, a decently able mind. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, and like, there's nothing to fall back onto anymore. You know, like, we don't have that luxury of putting it off and putting it off and putting it off and imagining that like, life's okay now. Even though it's boring and kind of limited, at least there's some things that distract me to it. So I'll put off my dreams for another day. That's not there anymore, man. You're looking at lockdown or sovereignty.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like not only is there no going back, but even if you look at the going back, it's only getting like darker and darker and darker and darker. You know what I mean? It's like
so yeah, there's a clear bifurcation. It's like, for those that have chosen the hard path of sovereignty, things are getting like this huge thing that was in the way is being is removed. But if you invested in that system, it's gonna go down and take you down as far enough as it needs to before you jump ship or not. You know what I mean? But for people like me that played the long game and invested in something else, in myself,
and yourself,
like, man, I'm so happy I made the tough decisions I made in my life, man.
Yep.
Like, so happy.
So some final questions before we hop off for this time. I'm wondering, in this past year, what's been your biggest win as far as, say, like, your entrepreneurial or like self-invested journey? What's been your biggest challenge, and what is a goal or intention you have for this next year?
Biggest win, man. The biggest win is definitely coming here, man. Like, this is my third year here. Spirit was obviously preparing me for a completely different life and just in time for COVID, I've achieved it. I made it. You know, I've prepped. It's been years of prep, and now I'm living the life pretty much of my dreams. I get to do exactly what I want. Now it's just a matter of making it sustainable. So yeah, that for sure is the biggest win, and it's probably one of the biggest wins of my life. And for 2021, it's just like converting it, you know, like doing this, like we're doing this like on New Year's Eve, like this is a portent for the rest of the year. I've made it. Now it's time to share, to connect, to reconnect, and reconnect with the world that I've taken a step away from or drifted away from, and be like, okay, you didn't value me before, but now I know that I have something that has value to more and more people. So yeah, that's 2021. It's sharing the fruit.
Yeah.
And getting more fruit, because the more you give, the more you get. That's so a step forward for others is now a step forward for me. That's clearly what's going down, man. Yeah, going public basically.
Going public with it.
Being traded on the market.
Right? It's like trusting, okay, you've done a lot of the inner work. It's time to share this with other people and trust that it's just going to be a positive feedback system for everyone involved.
It's the only way out, man. It's the only way out. It's like, people that want to continue to hope that things are going to change and get better or go back to normal, like, that's fine, but that's going to be less and less convincing that's ever going to happen.
It's unlikely that it will ever happen, and all that time of waiting, you could have started your own business, just done more with that time.
Yeah, so
in and of itself, you know what I mean? So take that time, do something else, and just feel more empowered and autonomous with it. And I really feel like that for me, there's no other way, there's no going back. So keep working on what you've been working on probably before COVID, you know, like we've been getting these messages, we've been on this path, we can trust that this is for us, it's our birthright, and it's gonna be hard work, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for what is to come. And so where can people get a hold of you or like contact you, see more of your work?
Again, this is like 2021 is the year of putting myself out there, so that means investing more energy into like online stuff, which I've been kind of like aloof towards. But yeah, you could get at me on Facebook if you want. Be my friend, Lugh Whittall, Whittal, first name Lugh, it's Hugh with an L, yeah, man, get at me there, and yeah.
Sweet. Well, thank you to everyone who tuned in. I will do my best to put this on my page, linking Lugh's info, and yeah, just stay tuned for more content in the future. And by all means, in the comments, share your journey with entrepreneurship, your self-invested journey, some of the wins, the pitfalls, the challenges, and ultimately where you're trying to go. We are totally in this together, and I'm so grateful for the tools and technology that we have to compound our voices. So yeah, have a happy freaking new year, new you, new Aeon, new everything. Do the grief work, do the shadow work. Deepest gratitude for all that has come and all that will continue to be. Thanks to everyone who has played such an influential part in my journey. And yeah, on to the next thing.